Donald Trump says, how do you know it's the Russians who hacked into the DNC or into WikiLeaks? How do you know?
Think about what that says to the rest of the world. Here, the intelligence community of the United States government, the most potent military in the world with the most significant intelligence capability in the world, says flatly, we know it was out of Russia and we know it was Putin, or we know it was the Russians. And a candidate for president already is fawning over Putin, says, well, how do they know? What does that do to the confidence of all our allies? That here you got the guy of the head of the grand old party, and it is a grand old party, saying, well, you know, 17 American intelligence agencies confirmed this was done, but I don't think they know. I don't think they know. What does that say? It's a little bit like the president going out and saying, you know, they tell me we got a good military, but I don't think we have much capacity. It's bizarre.
Is it just politics, or do you think there's something more?
I don't know whether he just doesn't know. I know I get criticized for saying this. He just may not be informed enough to know what he's saying. It's just, some of it is so out of the box, John. So far out of the box. It's hard to believe that he could be so devoid of the facts. So it's either deliberate attempt to undermine, or it is totally uninformed.
If we hear 17 intelligence agencies, if we read that in the press, how do we know? I mean, how does he know as a candidate, or is he being briefed?
He's being briefed. He's being briefed. These intelligence guys are coming in.
Yeah. So this isn't, he's just not reading this on the internet.
It's not on the internet. I mean, and you had the head of the intelligence community, the director, Mr. Clapper, come out and say, confirm in front of all of you, this is what we have determined.
Question about Obamacare.
Yeah.
25% premium increases on those who buy insurance through the federal exchanges, ameliorated by subsidies. But some insurers are leaving the program. Is it in peril if the next president doesn't get some legislation to fix it?
No, but I appreciate, as usual, the way you asked the question. Of all the people who have insurance, 85% don't get their insurance through the insurance plan, this exchange. So that 25% doesn't apply to 85% of the population. Of those that it does apply to, as you said, the vast majority will get an increased subsidy for the increase in the premium. But there are things we have to do. We should be in a position where we are providing a greater subsidy for young people to get into the marketplace that can't afford to get in, because when they're in, what that does is bring in a whole group of healthy people into the system, instead of what's caused this increase in premiums, which is very sick people signed up and got in. But there's other things we have to do as well.
If those fixes aren't made, though, the trend line is not, if things stay as they are, no legislation to fix the problems you've identified, then it seems in peril.
Well, no, I don't think it's in peril. It's not working as well as it should, because here's what happens. You still have, no one can be denied health care for pre-existing condition in or out of the system. You still have children being able to stay on their parents' health care till they're age 26. You still have women not being able to be charged more than men. There's a whole range of things that still justify it, but it's not as good as it should be. It would not imperil it, causing it to be not able to function.
Where is this on the priority list for the new president? It seems like.
I think it's going to be very high on Hillary's, well, assuming it's Hillary, on her priority list.
It has to be.
I think it has to be. I think it's important.
We'll have more of our interview with the Vice President in our next half hour. Coming up next, new battleground tracker polls taken after the FBI made the announcement on Friday. We'll tell you whether it looks like this October surprise will have any effect on the election.